Yours.
Okay, so welcome again, everyone. I'm very happy that we are here, that you are here. We are starting with the second session of this trip that uh, us at Ecoversities, the communication spiral from Ecoversities, have called Healing for the Future. We talked a few days ago about childhood and parenting with Shivani from South Africa. It was really nice. I also invite you to see some of that on our Instagram. And now we are talking what we entitled Raw Reality with my good friend Hiva. Thank you, Hiva, for accepting the invitation. Um, So let's start. I don't want to say anything more about what is going to happen because I prefer to let it happen. Uh, and I would like to start. Um, well, first I want to say let's keep this raw, free. Let's keep it like a fluid conversation. Um, and I want to start with a memory when I invited Hiva to talk here at this Healing for the Future session. Uh, the image that always comes to my mind is me chanting to a plant, chanting to a fern, because I met Hiva at Brazil. Irsa, that is here, was there too, and he offered somatic practice, maybe similar to what she's going to offer today. I don't know, actually, I imagine. And it was a very touching moment. It touched my heart, my soul. And I always remember when I need grounding, I remember me chanting to this fern. So with that memory, I would like to ask you, Hiva, with your work, with what you have done with art, with dancing, um, what for you is the relation between making art and connecting with nature?
Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for being here today. Yeah, I'm trying best to put all the experience that is mostly is possible through being in the body and sensing and moving and dancing. So sometimes it's hard to put it in the words, but I try my best to put it in the words. So yeah, starting from the first question, um, making art is for me is like being in dialogue with something that is bigger than me and being in that creative process of what I'm listening, what I'm receiving, how am I responding to that creative energy, and connecting with the nature has exactly, I mean, I wouldn't say connecting with the nature because we are nature and like we are all the time in dialogue and connection with the nature. So sometimes we just like put more awareness and bring more consciousness about our relation with the nature. Otherwise, we are just in all the time with gravity right now under our feet, everywhere, like the air we are breathing, the any kind of like environment that surround us, that we are in a constant dialogue and relation with the nature. So when we maybe like shine the light on some aspect of it, like how am I moved by this element in the nature, what's my relation with the gravity, how am I in dialogue with the trees, plant, as you said, Andre, like singing, chanting to the ferns, to plants body, is where the dialogue is happening in a more maybe, I don't know, I would say like conscious way to put more like awareness on it. Otherwise, all the time we are just in dialogue with nature. So the connection with making art is kind of being in that mysterious process of what wants to come true, like what is the dance of the moment, what is the respond of the moment. And I would say same with the connecting with the nature, as I think the deep connection is happening when we are sensing the body of the nature, plants, earth, water through our body. So it's like how it's possible to like go beyond the mind that always want to find the concept, the ideas, the image, like how we can like pass beyond that and like be with the share the same, we are sharing the same body as nature, like we are from all four elements. So how we can be in dialogue and be in relation uh, from our nature body, from our plant body, water body to the nature. So yeah, there is a lot in common, especially I would say in the, yeah, making art is like a big, like lots of art mediums could be included in that. But in my case, like mostly my medium is a dance and movement. So creating the art with like creating the dances and connecting with nature is has a very similar quality. Like what is the uh how can I basically like get some perspective and angle from the identity, from the like where I am, my emotions, my mental, like everything is in this moment. How can I take some space, get some like perspective with how else I can experience my body, so how else I can experience the nature, how nature can be um like be a teacher for me. And it depends on how my body can listen to um find the quality of listening through the body, like how can I listening to nature and like what it can how it can moves me. The way that my body is in relation with nature is the dance. It's like how am I opening and receiving to listen, to let the movement happens. Is the is same as making dance and making art. So
Yeah, you know what image was coming to my mind now? Me, myself, being a little ashamed in a urban park or a square with really wanting to hug a tree or maybe to sing to a plant and not feeling so comfortable about doing that, like surrounded by people who will look at me and say, what a fucking hippie. And but it's actually so revolutionary, you know. It's not like I am a hippie and I love it's that I love plants because I love life. I love and it's a very political act too. And it's not as a performative way. I'm not I'm what I was thinking is like maybe I feel like to hug a tree, like to deeply connect with the nature that is surrounding me in the city, in the big city, but not doing not performing something, you know, like more than doing art, maybe being art. That was what I thinking. I don't know what 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 do you think about that? About performing art and maybe sometimes being art. Like, does that make sense to you?
yeah, I think this quality of arts that we are talking about is we might name it in performance in some situation. I think performance is more like um, capture our experience, like re-experiencing like what's happening in the performance or in a performative way. It's like re-experiencing what we experience maybe in a daily life, maybe in some moments in the life, and kind of like focusing on that, capturing that part, and like bringing on the stage, or just like in a level of like presenting to some witnesses, is like basically re-experiencing that. So that's actual the main difference between theater and dance in this way, because it's not about acting, it's not about representing or even like performing, but it's about like how the it's a real experience, like a real time, real physical um, space. So it's about like re-experiencing that. And as what you said about it's activism, I totally agree, because I think in the kind of modern world that we are living right now, everything is kind of, like try to make us in this small like boxes, like this is the maybe like not that many alternative way of being, but rather just maybe like presenting us limited way of being. And in a in a kind of like all of the indigenous cultures, all the very like old ancient like cultures, there's like many like ways of being like as a human, to experience our unified world, to experience ourselves, each other's, and nature's. So I would say like to being able to access to that part of ourselves that can have that can be in relation with tree, that can be in relation with water. So it needs us to let go of the image of ourselves in this moment, like let go of the ego identity, and just like really tapping to the plant body that we already have. So yeah, it's activism in a way, because then it allows us to experience like 100 ways of being, and being in relation, and yeah, basically expand our senses, perception, and our relation with with unified world, human, non-human, everything.
Nice. Welcome, Sarah, arriving. Uh, Hiva, let's go a little bit to talk about your personal history. You are from Tehran. You are based now in the US. You are in Hawaii now. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Um, how is to be a woman and an artist in Tehran? How was it for you, like to grow and to connect with that in a difficult country in the social and political point of view? Can you share a little bit of that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say being a woman and artist, especially like dance artist, because maybe for some people that don't know, like dance is illegal in Iran. Yeah, any type of connecting with the body and like uh, expressing through the body is basically most of the thing that's suppressed in my country. So yeah, basically like finding my dance in that kind of very, like suppressive regime was the process of basically like finding some part of myself that like was suppressed during the whole like like all of the most of my childhood, and as a young woman. So yeah, finding that movement, that dance, like what I can move if I how can I move like if I not in a not like getting like suppressed by a bigger power. So kind of like finding that was the I would say like act of activism in we had an underground dance group in Iran at the time. So I just want to like name and appreciate all of the people who are in my time, like as we like started to this like underground scene in Iran, and with all the risk, all the dangers, like all everything, just we still like showing up in the underground studio that we had, and like making art, and with having basically no hope that where it can goes, like how we can um, basically present our art, how we can make money from it, with all the dangers that we had, we still like we're doing it, and it's still my friend in Iran doing that. So it's so precious. It's so, yeah, it's an act of resistance, basically, that I understand it right now to being in a country that I have the freedom to, to just express what I want to express through my body. So yeah, coming back to your questions, I would say, um, the what I kind of like understand, I'm still understanding, like after I moved out from Iran on 2019, it's our dances. I'm saying art because I was part of this group that we had lots of like collaboration with each other. So our dances was basically like act of like a fighting back or reacting to, like, it's a like a power um, regime that like trying to suppress. And like mostly our dances, the pieces that we were making was like act of, okay, like pushing it back, resisting, persisting of like we want to live. So mostly our dances was act of I would say like fighting. In a way, I would say like just, oh, we want to exist, we want to just be as a woman, as a body that wants to express through the movement, through the voice, through the sound. So that was the main aspect of my as being a artist in Iran. Like most of my works, yeah, coming from my personal experiences, but mostly was like kind of responding to a power that wants to suppress this energy. So after I moved out from Iran, I kind of like get my dance, find my dance in another way. That, okay, now how does it feel that like when I don't have that suppressing, power like on me, how am I finding my dance? What's my real, I wouldn't say like real, what my body needs to experience through the movement. And it was challenging because kind of what was feeding my art process at the time was mostly like how I'm responding to this regime, to this like suppressing regime.
And even your body somehow, I imagine.
Yeah, like in my most
Your
of my
physiology.
exactly, like I had lots of in the dance pieces that I created in Iran, like it was lots of like shaking movement, like collapsing, like I when I'm kind of like watching my the way that I'm dancing right now compared to before, like I was mostly in this like releasing and be able to just responding to the to that power, to that suppression power on me. So exactly as you're saying, like my physiology, my body, the way I was moving was very different. And yeah, like I think it's a very, very big topic. Like how does it be to be a woman in Iran? It's a different, and like how does it be to be an artist in Iran? Like it's another big topic. But what I can say from body of woman in Iran, I mean, I don't want to like even like kind of like separate it as a woman or like nature, like feminine energy, or like even like men, like that's we all like carrying feminine energy. So that feminine energy in it's hard to exist in Iran right now in this situation. And I would say like for all the men and women that's still like expressing and connecting with that feminine energy, that's the act of resistance, because it's a very like fragile and very like subtle movements, very maybe emotional, tender part of us. And it's not easy to leave that part in a country that's, the unhealthy masculine is just like taking all the power. So, um, yeah, I don't know if I answered that or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, what I wanted to go up to now was about this concept of unlearning. It was, I like, well, the next topic I want to talk about is unlearning. And I think you just said so much about unlearning, in your own, with this process of relearning how to dance, how to connect with your body when you are not confronted to this oppression regime, or maybe confronted to another things in another ways, but not like this very raw, for using the term that gives the title to this session.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, well, what I wanted to say is that when I connected with Ecoversities, I got to know more, or not to know, but to go deeper into this idea of unlearning. That's something that was working with me for a long time, but maybe I didn't have a name for it. Uh, so when someone asks me what is Ecoversities, I think that is a very big idea of unlearning. and sometimes I don't know what else to say. Unlearning. Uh, so yeah, I think I wanted to ask you about how do you feel about unlearning, because it's so important to us, to with this global movement that embraces so diverse people in the whole world, and what unite our point of view of the world somehow, or one of the things I think is, of course, unlearning, to be open to this relational process where uh, you put everything you think you know, your certainties, like, with you, but to the side, and you open to experience the moment and learn so much. And when you learn, always you will unlearn. I think, at least. Um, and I think your creation process, what you said, is so much about unlearning, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I would say like unlearning or um, maybe unconditioning in another way, because I think we are very conditioned by many things in the society that we live, or for example, like the society that I come from. Like I would say even like the way that I was like holding my body, that maybe it was needed when I was, for example, like walking in the street of in Tehran, like walking like between people, like the way I need to like maybe like hold my body, the way I need to, even just the I mean, just seeing as a like somatic aspect, like even like the how we need to like, for example, like cover our hair, like it's a loose shawl that we are putting in our hair, and it's very possible that it's kind of like fell down. So like even like this act of like, just like putting something on your hair all the time, so it's some brings some like tension to shoulders, brings some tension to the neck. And I would say like I was like still like after I moved out from Iran, like I was still like carrying that body that I needed at the time to live in Tehran, but I didn't need that anymore to, for example, like live in nature, or like somewhere that like I could lose more my body, or so I would say, yeah, conditioning, or always like keeping to what we learn, like how to hold my body. I learned that. So unconditioning or unlearning is like how to be more present in the like what's the need of this moment right now? What's the need of my body in this moment right now? If I don't want to come back to conditions or to what I learned. So yeah, unlearning for me is the process of being mostly in the present moment, and yeah, the knowledge, the ideas, what we learn, the conditions, everything is right there, and we can access to it like if we want to. But if you're always like coming from all those rules, structures, everything, it's kind of, for me, it's like we limit ourselves, because if we do, as you're saying, like unlearning, unconditioning, then we can live in many ways that
Mhm.
we can live. And I'm also like curious about Ecoversities too. I don't know if it's the time right now, but I think the because you said like unlearning is something that you describe Ecoversities through that. I'm kind of wanting more explanation around it. Like, what does unlearning through Ecoversity eyes mean to you?
Yeah, it's always a hard question for me. What do you say, Mara? Can you share something about that?
I think what Hiva was saying is so true. We are conditioned in so many ways, and through this patriarchal, colonial, in some cases fundamentalist, capitalist world that we live in. There are so many things that we're taught are the right way to do things, and the right way to organize, the right way to raise a child, the right way to die. We're we're trying to unlearn some of those bad conditionings that we've been forced to live, and it's a lifetime practice, because if we've been conditioned for the first 20 years of our life, it takes a long time to get rid of that's intrinsic in the way we carry ourselves, the way we talk, the way we behave. And so it's a very, it's a complicated thing. And so learning from other people who do things in completely different ways and recognizing the value of what they do and how they do it has been a great learning experience for me. Learning and unlearning and co-learning. We use all these terms in Ecoversities, and it does sound a little jargony. It takes a while to get used to it, the fluidity of it and the sort of non-organizational sense of it and the sort of autonomous circles that we work within throughout the Ecoversities Alliance. It's very
What is
valuable.
Ecoversities? Help
No,
me, help me with that.
that's the thing. You just have to experience it. There's no real. We're trying to come up with some ways of making it more inviting, so that people aren't terrified of the unknowing of it. But we're working on that. So I think it's a kind of it's an ecosystem, an Ecoversities ecosystem with we use a lot of metaphors around nature. We compost conflict. We bring conflict between individuals or groups, and we add sunlight and water and good microorganisms and try to transform that into a new growing medium that's healthful. And recognizing that conflict is really, in many cases, a learning opportunity for us as individuals and groups. You know, the longer I'm in Ecoversities, the more I realize that conflict is just, it's part of almost every interaction. There's some kind of conflict. So what is Ecoversities? It's a mycelium. You know, it's a mycelium. That's the best description I can give it. I'm sure others will, Albert and Sarah will probably have better things to say.
It's a mycelium that is actually 10 years old this year.
Right.
So that is something important. It's spreading worldwide with a lot of connections and networks. It's poetry, like Sarah said. It's a loving net. And there is parts of this whole being in so many places, and we call these organizations an ecoversity. So for example, there is this indigenous organization at Bahia, where they work with so many beautiful things that are hard to explain, but is what we have already said, what Mara said, and we call that particular space an ecoversity. And we are always trying to connect with, for example, I'm willing to go to Mexico in a few months to connect with a place that is not a part of the network already, but we believe it is already an ecoversity because of how they work, of what they do. So we are always like this mycelium connecting underneath and flourishing. Yeah, like Mara wrote in the chat, we have germinators that are people like help other people or other organizations to be part and to develop their work. We have roots, we have composters, like people who are working with each other to work with conflict, and a lot of other circles that have worked for 10 years. Yeah, so I would like to later open more the mic of everyone who wants to share something, but how about we go to see a video of Hiva's work? Yeah. I almost forgot. Hiva, what are you working on now? You told me you're working on this project that is called Mayas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. And for what I read, what caught my attention was, among other things, that you said it works with disorientation. I love that because in this global crisis moment, I'm feeling so disorientated. So I would love to hear. Can you share a little bit of that before we see the video?
Yeah, sure. My project, is the name is Majaz, the recent project, but the video that we are going to see is from another collaboration with another artist. I can talk a little bit about that too. But about my recent project, the name is Majaz, and Majaz is basically like virtual reality. So the virtual reality that is happening in this moment right now, that we see each other's images and it's real, but we are not in the same like physical reality with each other. So the mystic, the Persian mystic, had their own virtual reality, and that was the world of metaphors, symbols that. Basically, they were saying that it was an intermediate world, this virtual reality or majaz, that the spiritual reality that is all about light, but we don't have, basically, we can't perceive or connect with that spiritual reality in this physical realm that we are. So this intermediate worm is basically how that word of light taking different metaphors, symbols, so for us to be able to connect with that word of light in our physical reality. So that's why the mystic poetry is like full of basically visual, imaginary symbols, and most of them actually, or maybe all of them, they are about like how human can be in other ways with alternative ways, like different way of coexisting or co-living with the whole nature, like different elements, everything. So, and they come in a very like a metaphoric, mystic language, but at the same time, it has a very it has a somatic experience that we can embody in those metaphors. So in this project, which is actually in a really beginning phases, I'm hoping to basically through the poetry access to this, I call it like ancestral technologies of embodiment, because they are technologies of how else I can perceive my body, how else I can perceive the unified world. And so basically it opens the active our imagination or unlock our imaginal quality of our body, of our psyche, and of our mind, that basically that's activating that imaginal power of the body, then it allows us to perceive our body, a natural world, in a different way. And for me, the Persian mystic poetry is a great example of for connecting with how our ancestors in this case, like Persian mystic and poets, they were experiencing their body, their unified world, and how our alternative ways of being in relation, coexisting with natural world.
Lovely, nice.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
And a little bit maybe just about this video that we are going to watch.
Yeah, please.
A very dear friend of mine and teacher of mine, Benoit Lachambre. He's from Canada. He was visiting the Big Island, and we had a very short residency here on the island. And the technique that he's teaching and he's researching is sensorial flow and relational dances. So how the body can be basically like a receptor, like how we can receive from our body, what's the somatic of receiving from the different nature elements. So how we can basically listen from the nature to our bodies, and the movement that arises or the sound that arises are the sound of that element that we are in relation with, sound of the tree or water, different elements. So in this video, it's a very like a work in progress that we had to dancing with different elements. And here on the Big Island, the elements are just very extreme and powerful. So it was a great place to bring these dances. And I would say it's hard to capture it and share it in the video, but doing it, it's very like a transforming experience. So yeah, I hope the video can maybe present a little bit what I just shared.
Nice. Let's go. I think Albert is going to share the screen.
The speed of the video is not in a it's a in a weird way. I don't know why. It shouldn't be like this.
It says it's in normal. I can slow it a little bit if you want.
I think it's the internet, the connection.
Oh,
Maybe if you start from the beginning, maybe now it's kind of like it needs to download maybe, and then you play it.
okay. You can do that. Mhm. Okay. Round two.
It's still like that, isn't it? Like in stop motion. At least for me. You want me to try, Albert?
Yes, it is better or not?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
it's like let me try. Share my screen. Okay. Let me go there. Is it better?
Yes.
But it doesn't have a sound.
Yeah, it has the sound. It's a,
Maybe Andre, you can put it full screen.
Yeah, Vimeo does not allow for that.
Okay. Mm.
Okay, so let's
Yay.
let's take a deep breath after that.
Give thanks.
And now Hiva is inviting us for a somatic practice alive, like 15 minutes, and then we will be back for questions, comments, and closing this session. It's with you, Hiva.
Sure, I just saw
music.
this really good question
Mhm.
on the chat. So do you want me to come back to this like after the
Go.
session
What?
or?
As you please, as you want.
Yeah, I can very quickly answer to this. So the question is, if the different vegetations, biologies, geographic, geologies, climate, the different climate in the different places affect my creation. So I would say yes, definitely, it's a very, very important element in my creation, not just creation as the way of, just a living, and creation is part of my life too. So, for example, like the way that I was creating in Iran, like being in the very ancient, old ground, being in a land of mountain. So it was the process of creation basically was really digging the earth, digging the earth and like act of like persisting and resisting to get to that. Water flows from the ground, water of, just flow of the creation, or getting to that fire like beneath the ground. So yeah, the way that I was creating, it was like act of just like, it was like digging this like old ground soil. And if I want to compare it with Hawaii, which is a new land, basically, new earth, basically, and the energy of ever changing of volcano and water is like two strong elements here. So it's very hard to basically, the energy of the flowing is very strong here, but for the creation, like we need to have both the flowing energy and also the structures, the container to kind of like hold this creative flow of creation. So I would say here the way that I'm creating is mostly like, how can I create that structure, that form, that shape for my creation energy to come true. And yeah, of course, different in different places, but it has a, I would say, like very direct relationship with the energy of the land and geography, and all of that. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Nice question.
And I
Nice
just,
answer.
I just add something there because what you said reminded me that I didn't mention earlier about Ecoversities. Many of us have different names besides the name that we have on the screen. For example, we have another Andre is we call Mountain because she's in the mountains all the time. And Albert is sometimes earthworm and sometimes jellyfish, depending on his aura that day and things like that. So we've we've given one another a gift of a name from nature and things like that. So that's a part of it also. And I think we may change from one day being an earthworm to another day being a jellyfish, but these are things that we think about all the time too.
Interesting. Yeah, thanks for sharing. It's very resonates in me, and also this project too, that is about like, yeah, how we are basically carrying the very flux in changing and transforming, you know, it's hard for us to maybe like always like carry this you know, the way that we live our identity in just one way, like how being in that transformational changing state, it's actually a important quality of human being, and maybe we kind of forget in this way of, you know, this way of like living in the modern time right now, just holding to one quality. But what you said, it's, yeah, exactly how we can be jellyfish and mountain and all different forms. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I invite you, if it's available, to have some space to stand or move. If not, you also can be seated. I invite you or encourage you to be standing. But yeah, if you don't have a space, also you can stay seated too. Andre, could you play the music for me? Thank you.
Can you hear it? Can you hear the music?
No,
No?
no.
On advanced settings,
Let me look
shared
again.
computer audio.
Thank you. Maybe
Is
a little
it-
bit like, yeah, the volume is a little bit lower, please.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit lower. I don't need to shout. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I invite you, if you're walking, just maybe take your eyes from the screen and like look around your space, the space you are at, and connect with your feet. So how your feet are touching the ground, which part of your feet, your fingertips, your toes are touching, how you take your steps. And what you come back to your senses, what are you sensing through your legs and feet in this moment? The texture below you, the way that you are putting your weights when you're taking steps. And at the same time, allow your eyes travel in your space and how you're sensing your space, the walls, the floor. And as you're walking, please bring two palms of your hand together and start to rubbing against each other. Connect with your sense of touch. How you are sensing through your palms. How you are sensing the textures in your palms, in your hands. How does it feel for your body to rubbing against each other? This like sliding, creating friction, creating heat through your palms. Your sensation, the sense of touch. And slowly let go of that rubbing and still connected with the sensation of your palms. See if you are bringing close together the heat, the vibration, still you are feeling between your hands, your palms are there. And what if you're going a little bit bigger, how you're experiencing how you're experiencing through your palms of your hands, how you're experiencing the space around you. If you want to come back to touch again, to different places of your body, of your place, come back to the touch or come back to the vibration that you're feeling in your palms with your hands. And really allow the palm of your hands for the next couple of minutes guide you to experiencing yourself, to experiencing the space around you. What does it mean for your body to move from your palms, to experience your space through your palms, through your hands? With curiosity, maybe touch a place, a texture in your room, and really allow your hands, your palms, just feel your space. So touching a texture, really feel the quality, the texture. And when you are not touching that texture, what is the memory of that texture in your palms? Allow your palm, your hands, guides your movement, moves you. How does it feel that your movement initiate from your palms, from your senses? How the rest of your body follow your palms, respond to your sensation. As you're exploring your palms, your space, your experience of the space through your hands, I'm going to share a poem of Rumi that how it invites us to connect with our palms. So just allow yourself, if any images come to your experience, just allow that image comes to you. Our senses, our perception is like the palm of the hand. چشم حس همچون کف دست است و بس. Our senses, our perception is like the palm of our hand. چشم حس همچون کف دست است و بس. How your palm, how your senses can reach the whole reality, can feel the whole world. نیست کف را بر همه او دسترس. Your palms, your hands, is your sensation, your perception. How with this palm of the hand you can touch, you can reach the reality. چشم دریا دیگر است و کف دگر. کف بهل و از دیده دریا نگر. Our palms, our hands are like the foam of ocean. What does it mean to your hands? That as if you're experiencing your palms as the foam of ocean. What's the foam? The foam flakes. What's the quality of the foam? As you are exploring your space through your palms, imagine your palms become the foam of ocean. Is there any movement? Is there a new sensation in your palms as you imagine your palms the foam of ocean? چشم دریا دیگر است و کف دگر. کف بهل و از دیده دریا نگر. Your senses, your perception as the palm of your hands, as the foam of ocean. What's the quality of foam of ocean? Really experience to move by your hands, by your palms. And these palms, the way that you can sensing the world has the same quality of foam of ocean, as Rumi says. چشم دریا دیگر است و کف دگر. The eye of ocean is one thing. The eye of foam is another. Remove the eye, remove the foam, and come to the eye of ocean. So your palms having the quality of foam of ocean. Stay with this image, how you're sensing your space, your body through your palm. And then slowly drop the palms and hands. And imagine your spine, the movement of your spine as the eye of ocean. All the vertebrae in our spine is floating in the water. Can you connect with that water around your spine as a depth of ocean? Allow the water in your spine starts the movement now. How your spine wants to move. The eye of the ocean is one thing, and the foam another. Leave the foam and come to the depth of ocean. کف هلوزدیده دریا نگر. Let go of your senses and your palms and come to experiencing your body and experiencing your space through your spine. How your spine is experiencing your body. Allow the rest of your body respond and follow your spine. جنبش کف‌ها ز دریا روز و شب، کف همی بینی و دریا نه عجب. Day and night, the movement of the foam flakes is from the ocean. Imagine the movement of the foams of oceans changing all the time, day and night. You keep seeing the foam. You keep seeing the movement of the foam of the ocean, but not the ocean itself. Connect with the depth of ocean of your body, the space around your spine. What's the difference when you were moving through your senses, your palms, and now through your spine? As you are passing the foams of the ocean, and seeing through the depth of ocean. ما چو کشتی ها به هم بر میزنیم، تیر چشمیم و در آب روشنیم. We are dashing against each other like boats. We are darkened of eyes, but we are floating in this clear crystal water. We are dashing against each other like boats. We are darkened of eyes, but we are in the clear, bright water. Your spine knows this water. How does it feel to your body to move in this clear crystal water? Move from your spine, the space around your spine, and imagine the depth of ocean. What's the movement of water around your spine? ای تو در کشتی تن رفته به خواب، آب را دیدی نگر در آب آب. Oh, you have gone to sleep in the boat of your body. Imagine your body as a boat. How you can awaken this boat. You've seen the water, you felt the water, you know the water. Behold of the water of water. How you can move through the water of your spine and waking up this boat of the body. Trust the movement of water around your spine and rise. The water flowing down in your body. The water has water that is driving it. The spirit has a spirit that is calling it. How the water around your spine is in relation with water outside of your body. The water is in relation with the great water. The water has a water that driving it. What's the movement of your water in this moment? And again, slowly connect with remember the movement of your palms, your senses, how you were experiencing your body in this moment, through your palms, through your senses, the foam of ocean, and switch between the movement of your palms and the movement of your spine, the depth of ocean. How you can experience yourself in these two different metaphors. Foam, the surface of the ocean, and eye of ocean. What's the relation between your palms and your spine? Imagine the foam of ocean and passing the foam, the depths of ocean. All different forms of water. And slowly find the stillness in your movements, in your own timing, in timing of your water in this moment. And remember, the motion of water is always changing. And one more time, brings your palm together and start to rub them around against each other. Our senses, like the foam of ocean. And come to the stillness in your palms and connect with the movement of your spine, the small movements, the subtle movements of depth of ocean. And slowly let go of your hands and find your stillness. Andre, if you could pause the music. And stay connected with the movement of your spine and sensation in your palms. And if is there any images coming to you in this moment, try to capture that. Is there any sensation or image coming to you? Just try to remember or capture that image. As I'm passing from the foam of ocean, my senses, I come to eye of ocean, my spine. And as we are coming back to the screen, if there is an image or sentence or sensation that you want to finish this statement, as I'm coming from the foam of the ocean, the sensation of my palms to the eye of ocean, my spine. I see, I feel, I imagine. In any way, if you like to respond to this, you're welcome to.
The mic is open if anyone wants to share. I for sure gonna keep this tool in my toolbox for connecting again with the eye of the ocean and the foam of the ocean. Thank you, Hiva.
No pressure, but if is there any image, any maybe a word wants to come, maybe it doesn't make sense, but in the word of in the virtual world, the word of metaphors and images, it makes sense. Maybe in rational word doesn't make sense. So if, I encourage you to sea salt. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to share some.
Please.
And So it was going from the surface of the ocean by the sensations mostly outside of, like the touch and like out, somehow feeling outside the border, like in the foams on um, the waves of the water that come um, and then going down slowly to the depth of the ocean, which is more stillness and calm, and at the same time is the unity which transformed in this spine for me um, was something like I was also imagining that all of these are same when you um, when I mixed the sensation in in the hand and in the spine and all the body represents me the image and the feeling of the sea, which has the depth and the surface and the foam, and you can have the sensation and also the unity of inside the body and outside the body, and the mind and the body and the unity of all the waters. It was amazing. Thank you so much. It was quite an experience. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Reading the chat, seaweed as well. Purple jellyfish in the Red Sea. Beautiful.
I got like the information that was contained in all the conversation, that is the space that we are here and we are able to experience wider. Yeah. And yeah, our art, whatever that is, because art is life and life is art. Or I wish we can be seeds for that to become. Yeah, how that opens the possibility. Like, I'm thankful for this experience, because it brought me clarity about this, about the space. It's just about widening the space. Interdimensional, no?
Well, really nice images and a wide experience we just had. Honoring the time, I would like to invite if there is any final comments or questions, so we start closing this session.
I would like to, yeah.
Go on, Anna.
Please, Anna. No, Anna, please.
Well, it's logistical question. That is, I would like to access the link of the video that passed, and yeah, how to keep connected with the work that you are doing, Hiva.
Yeah, thank you. I can share the or if Andra can share the link, the Vimeo link.
I can share.
Yeah, and then also that it's access to my Vimeo, so there's like another art project that I've done too, and I can share my email. And yeah, I would love to stay connected with the participant and also with Ecopers, hopefully. And I have also like lots of questions from Ecoverse and how is this like web of connection can sustain, and I would love to continue to be part of this like web of relation. So yeah, I share my email on the chat, and yeah, please send me an email. I would love to have either a conversation or if you have any questions or curious more about my works, I'm so happy to share more. Thank you.
And how do we keep this, the chat information, or it disappear when you close? Like, should I keep it or?
It will disappear. You can copy
Okay.
the link now and
Thank you.
the information. That Hiva shared her email there. So in the next week, I believe, is this Turtle Island encounter of Ecoversities. I think Albert is going to participate. I don't have all the information because I am in Chile, but well, if you are in Hawaii, Hiva, I think it's hard for you to go to San Francisco, where this encounter is going to happen, but you can keep in touch with our network. We also gonna have a global encounter in November in Thailand, and there are other regionals gathering, for example, in Chile in November too. Two of the founders of Ecoversities live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Albert.
Nice. I would love to connect. I mean, I don't know which island of Hawaii they are on Big Island. I do sometimes events and projects here. So if you can maybe share my contact to them or something, I can invite them for the next one if they are on Big Island, or any sort of connection that might possible. I would, so interested to that, as I'm very in a like isolated place right now. So any even like small connecting linking would be so great for me. So
Nice.
Yeah.
We can pass all that information.
Beautiful.
And do you, Eva, do you have a group or a network or a container where you share or others share the research and the experiments about these harvesting and listening nature to nature? So yeah, because I hold the question in my body. I live in nature, and I have I am in dialogue and listening, and I feel I'm not generous about what I experience. It's like I just keep it to myself. And you brought me the reflection about our generosity about what we experience. It's important because, and also you, Andre, when you told how uncomfortable it felt to hug a tree, or something like this. And if we are the seeds of a new culture, and then how does this new culture look like that we are bringing the seed? And and if I listen or I'm in dialogue with nature, then it needs to be shared. to become a culture, to become a forest when we start as a seed. Yeah, so I arrived here with this question. I noticed this question in me, like, what's the purpose of bringing it out? No, it's okay. I speak with the birds, or I'm singing to the herbs, and or they are singing to me, or they are telling me stories, or so yeah, so much.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Thank you to speaking to that. I mean, I encourage you to maybe send me an email so I have your email and maybe we can have more conversation around it. But as you said, yeah, it's so important. We are planting the seed like here and there, you know, to cultivate more this. How does it mean to be this relational culture in a way, to not just coming from the self-center, but just being this like relational state with nature, with each other, with ourselves. So that's my challenge too as a freelance artist and as a, I mean, human too, to how can I stay connected and like what's the kind of the sustainable way to be able to do this work, you know, not just like for myself and for a small group of people around me, but how we can all connect it and share this, invite more people to remember, you know, because it's not a new thing. Basically, it's a very old ancient thing to remember this type of living and perceiving the world and ourselves. So yeah, as much as I don't have that much question, I hope Ecoversity would be a platform that we can cultivate this kind of meeting, gathering, as you're saying. I like the imaginary of a forest. Yeah, we are planting the seed here and there, but how we can create that forest, or banyan tree for me is another image of like, yeah, how banyan tree like put roots here different ways to the rocks, to the soil, to different places, and it becomes like a big huge tree. So I hope we are starting that. I mean, I think it's already started, and I hope we kind of find this like linkage, like a tree to you know, linking each other's and be able to cultivate this work. So I'm so curious to know more about you and Ecoversities, and hopefully for the further collaboration, and yeah, so open to that. But as far as as of now, I don't have like a network. I mean, that encouraged me to start something, but I'm just like offering some in-person sessions here. I do some like online sessions too, but it's not a very yeah, I'm working on it. So maybe we all can help each other.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure.
Thank you, Andrea, for make this happen. And yeah,
And
I-
Albert was going to bring something before me. Albert.
He says he has to go.
Oh, I have to
Okay.
go.
So
Oh, I'm sorry about
I
that.
think I have to go, but maybe asking this question for at least for you, what's the most important thing for healing the future? I know it's a wide question, but I do feel that you'll deal a lot with the consciousness of war and separation in the work that you do. So yeah, just leaving that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
will, thank you, Albert. I will have
Thank
to
you,
leave
Albert.
too, but I'm very
Yeah,
happy
same
that
for
we are
me.
asking these questions. That's the purpose of what we're doing with this Healing for the Future session. So I invite you to keep tuned for the next following sessions. There are a lot coming, people from all around the world, some very interesting conversations and connections. So a big hug to Hiva. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Anna, for staying until the
Thank
end.
you
Thank you,
all.
Albert, for not translating. He was the translator that we didn't need to, and for hosting, and to everyone. See you soon. Stay
Thank you,
tuned.
Andrea. Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
Thank you.